I realize now what kind of powers I have. I have the powers of Gladiator and the powers of One Punch Man. Without her knowing it, my wife will be saved by me and I will not fall off that cliff this time because now I have real powers and I'm going to use it save everyone I love, and this time I won't fail as a husband. This time things will be different because I'll be there for both of them. The day me and my wife Becky Connor and Shiloh decided to go rock climbing, and I was supposed to fall off the cliff on this day, and I made sure they were ready this time. Even if they fall, they will have the best parachutes to save their lives, and this time I will be the failsafe for them both because I believe in my powers now, for I am the Gladiator and the One Punch Man, and that's my powers. For as long as I believe in my powers, I will always be the strongest person in the galaxy. So now Becky was saying I'm excited to do this now. I might even fall on purpose just to use the parachute, and I said yes, it's better this way. None of us are going without a parachute from now on. When we go rock climbing, it's do or die, sweetheart, and I love you more than anything. I'm not letting you fall, Becky, and I'm not letting Shiloh fall either. And she said, I saw where you have practicing breaking rocks with your bare hands. Is this why you did all that? And I said to Becky, no, I didn't just strengthen my fists, but I made my fingertips strong enough to bust through rocks. Also, I made my hands stronger, Becky, just in case. I'm the failsafe in case things go horribly wrong, and that's also what the parachutes are for, honey. And she said, I understand completely. And Shiloh said, I don't. And I said, don't be stupid, Shiloh, you're going to climb that mountain with the parachute or else I will knock your ass out and you will stay in the car while me and Becky go have fun. Now, I don't like to hit women, but I will do it if it's necessary to save lives, among other things like self-defense, understood? And she said, okay, damn fine, I will use the fucking parachute, and it might be more fun anyway since we practiced how to use them properly. And I said, whatever you do, never hesitate to pull out the strings on the parachute. Do it quicker every time, no matter what happens. Don't hesitate. If you feel yourself falling, grab those strings for dear life. Do you understand, Shiloh? And she said, okay, I understand, I will do it. Okay, don't worry about it, big guy. And I said, good, big girl, because I love you too, Shiloh. And I smiled at Shiloh, and right now we were both standing at the bottom of the mountain. Unlike before, I was able to do everything necessary to protect them both. And then when we finally got to the top, and I said, are you both ready to jump back down with your parachutes? And they said, hell yes. And I said, remember, both of you, don't hesitate to put your parachute strings. Now those are the best manual parachutes for something like this, so don't fail yourselves, survive, because the parachute is your safety net. Do you understand, Shiloh? Always remember that the parachute is your savior. And I said, now girls, who's going first? And Becky said, I'm going first. I called dibs, and Shiloh said, oh man. And then Becky ran and jumped high off the cliff, and then she quickly pulled the parachute strings and glided down harmlessly without dying. And I said, you're next, Shiloh. And then Shiloh waited a bit until she deployed her parachute, and I got mad about that, and then I surprised them both because I had an actual parachute glider suit, not just a regular parachute, and they said that's insane. And Shiloh recorded everything we did on Instagram, and we got billions of views on YouTube and Instagram, and we all became famous overnight, and we were all offered sponsorships on YouTube and Instagram, and we took the sponsorships and we started making millions of dollars on YouTube and Instagram for doing extreme activities on Instagram for sponsors like Red Bull, and even sponsors like Oakley and Facebook, Meta, and even Elon Musk and Tesla sponsored us. And now we were actually getting paid to do all these crazy stunts, and I even showed that I could break almost anything with my bare hands. And now the UFC wants me to be a fighter, so now I'm doing that because I already learned to control everything, and I also became the best UFC fighter within a year. And Shiloh continued doing crazy things until one day they both decided, since I'm so strong, they wanted me to climb the tallest tower in America with them. Since my hands were now beyond human levels and I could now punch through steel with my fingers, they wanted me to come with them to climb the tallest cell phone tower, or whatever type of tower it is. Anyway, it's the tallest tower in America, and now they want me to climb it with them because they don't know how old that tower is, so they wanted me with them because I believe in my powers, and I know I am the strongest now and forever, for I am the Gladiator. For so long as I believe, I will always be the strongest.